Hi guys, I just wanted to do another quick video. If you have watched some of my previous videos before, then you know about the references that I'll talk about in terms of February. But I just wanted to go through a few other things today very quickly if I can. So the first thing, I just want to play a little bit of this video. So at this scene here, we have the appearance of what I believe is Chinese tanks moving in from China through North Korea, heading into South Korea. If that is the case, then I already reported a couple of days ago that 300,000 Chinese troops were deployed to the North Korean-Chinese border. The next thing that happens in this scene is the girl runs out with the white flag. As we all know by now, the North Koreans and South Koreans are marching under a unified flag, which is predominantly white with a blue representation of the Korean Peninsula. And that could be what we're seeing here in terms of this white flag. It doesn't have the blue representation of the blue representation of the Korean Peninsula on there, but some of these markings on the ground, or even the markings on her face, could make up the Korean Peninsula. Excuse me. Next bit. So just waiting for it. Sorry. So the next thing here is we see this girl who's with what we'll call the unified Korean flag. And as I've mentioned before, that could be Kim Jong-un's little sister, Kim Yo-jong. She's in South Korea at the moment, and it could be that the video is giving us a representation of this woman. Now, they don't look exactly the same, and obviously there's an age difference between them, but this is a animated depiction of what could potentially be Kim Jong-un's little sister. And it's more certified because it's all seeming to happen around the same time. The Chinese troops move in, the unified Korea flag, and Kim Jong-un's little sister. Then we move on a little bit in the scene, and we're shown this skeleton, this aristocratic skeleton. What I didn't realize until today is that at the Winter Olympics, there's an event called Skeleton. It's basically like a sledge or board or something that they jump on and lie flat, and they go down a luge, which is basically like an ice tunnel. And that's happening from February the 15th to February the 17th. On February the 16th, in between February the 15th and February the 17th, is the Day of the Shining Star, which I believe is referenced in this part of the iPad Goat video, where we have the blue man with a shining star on his chest. This could be a reference, as I've mentioned before, to the Jushi bird, the dreaded missile that North Korea have and have promised to test in the Pacific Ocean. Now, I don't know if that's saying on the Day of the Shining Star this is going to happen, but it appears to be a direct reference with a shining star in the middle of his chest. Not only that, but obviously the Chinese New Year is on February the 16th. February the 15th, February the 16th at midnight, basically, is when it switches over. And then from there until February the 4th, 2019, we're in the Year of the Dog, the Yang Earth Year. So at the beginning of the iPad Go video, we've already referenced and already talked about how the dog could associate with the Year of the Dog, and JK found the Wu in the snow outside the classroom, which could reference Wu's Year of the Dog. So there's a lot of correlation there. Excuse me. Then, after that, after realizing all of that, I decided to look at the month of February itself. And when I looked at the month of February, one thing I discovered in the history was the Roman month Februarus was named after the Latin term Februarum, which I have read before. This means purification. And I think that could have direct reference to the old lady in the tower with the blood drying up or disappearing. And that could be a representation of purification, which happens on February the 15th. This is a purification ritual called Febura. Now, when you look up Febura, it takes you to a page redirected from Febura to a page called Lupercali. And Lupercali is basically a priesthood. What struck me when I read this whole document was when I got to sacrifice. At the Lupercal altar, a male goat or goats and a dog were sacrificed by one or another of the Luperci. And obviously when I read that, I thought, okay, I'm looking at the month of February because that's where the video seems to be pointing me to. And in the month of February, we have a ritual, purification ritual called Febura, which takes place on February the 15th. And at that ritual, they sacrifice a male goat or goats and a dog, which we have at the beginning of this video. So not only does the beginning of the video appear to tell us about the year of the dog, the Wuzhu year of the dog in the Chinese New Year, the switch of the yin to the yang, but it also appears to be giving us a ritual that takes place on February the 15th, where they sacrifice a goat and a dog. With all the other references to February, with the Valentine's Day and the flowers and the stag and the hare and the Fs that are in the classroom and the F that was discovered on the girl's dress, the F that appears to be part of the yellow flower that's made up on the wall, and the two Fs being able to be backwards sevens, and all those references. If you haven't seen it, I've made a couple of February videos in the last couple of days, which should catch you up fully on the references to February in this video. But I think that one, for me, is a pretty strong indication towards February. There's thousands of animals in the world, and out of the two animals they've chosen, they have direct references to February, not just one or the other, but both. So that's what I wanted to kind of point out to you guys today. I feel like we're living, no, I don't feel like we are living in the IPEC Goat timeline at the moment. The Chinese troops moving towards the border, the unified Korean flag, Kim Jong-un's little sister, the skeleton sports that they have at the Winter Olympics, the Day of the Shining Star, the Lupercali priesthood, the Chinese New Year, Valentine's Day. February the 18th is also the last day of Aquarius, which has a reference in the Be Ready video. So, February. If this interpretation is correct, there are 3 days left until the 14th. And basically, next week is, all of the week is a high watch week. Particularly high watch week. It all feels a bit surreal because, especially in this part of the video where we appear to be on the Korean Peninsula, it appears to be taking place right now. And then obviously the events that come after that are part of the death, or part of the events that this skeleton figure, this death figure, is orchestrating. So it could be that from February the 14th onwards, we are in the times of in some serious trouble times. So make sure that you're good with God. Make sure that you try and spread the word to other people as well. A lot of this information is available, but people don't look at it. And as I said before, I don't think that when these things start, that the internet is going to be available for very long, which means any information that we've already shared and any information that we want to share will be gone. So take advantage of the opportunity and the time while you've got it, as there are many references in the media. Time is up. So don't waste it. Don't waste whatever little time you've got. With that, you guys have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and God bless.